This conversation begins with a statement: 2020, never forget. Yes, the year 2020, we will never, ever forget. It's been etched or sketched, if you will, inside of our brain for a lifetime. I mean, this year has been a year full of hardship, 2020. It's been a year full of remorse, a year full of reflecting. I mean, it's been a year that we love to rewind, if you would. We love to just rewind it, have a do-over. I mean, we love to go back and make some changes, but guess what? The genie is out of the bottle. We don't get a do-over. We don't get to go back and undo things, unravel things, change things. No. We have to deal with the hands that's dealt to us right here, right now. Go with me to the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21 and 22. And as you're turning over there, let me just pray right quick. Father, I pray that you bless this message that I give to your children to be a message, Father, that's precise, that's full of clarity, that a child can understand, yet, Father, strong enough that it will convert a sinner into a saint. In Jesus' name, amen. This year has been a year full of challenges. But I keep hearing this statement echoed over and over again from family, friends, and loved ones, from strangers. And the statement is, I can't wait till things get back to normal. How many of you know that that's an expression, but how many of you know that really and truly reality has to set in somewhere? Santa Claus isn't real, and Dorothy doesn't live in Kansas anymore. I mean, so when people talk about getting back to normal, I don't know about you, but normal wasn't working for me. I mean, the normal back before 2020, all these years before, that wasn't working for many of us. Not that normal. That's someone else's normality. It might have worked for you, but it didn't work for the majority of us. And that's what needs to take place. The majority of us needs to understand we need a new normal going forward. Now, what does that look like? Well, let's talk about what we don't want to go back to. Some people are so interested in going back to it because it benefited them, but really and truly, what was back behind us, it needs to stay behind us. I mean, come on. We had the highest divorce rate of all times. We had the highest abortion rate of all time. We have the highest homicide rates of all time. I mean, we're setting records is what we were doing. We have the highest walking away, leaving the church of all time. I mean, that's what's taking place. We have the highest murder rates of all time. We have the highest incarceration of African Americans, men, of all time. We have the highest single parents, single mothers, fathers walking away from their children, the highest rates of all time. The highest homelessness rate of all time, the highest suicide rate, the highest mental illness rate of all time. We're setting records that no one wants to be a part of. That's what we're doing. But we're saying, without knowing, I'll be glad when things go back to normal. Well, no, you don't. You don't know what you're saying. We don't want normalcy that way. We want normalcy going forward. What's the new normal? So, Donnie, where do we go from here? Well, I want to point out three words to you. As we turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 21 and 22, I want to point out three words that we focus on. The first word is love. L-O-V-E. The word is defined as a strong feeling or a constant affection for a person. That's beautiful. Stay right there. And then I want to define the word forgive. Yes, forgive. It's to stop feeling, if you will, resentful, angry at someone because they owe you a debt or they've offended you, they hurt you, they've done something to upset you. Yes. Third word is forget. Simple definition: fail to remember. Let me deal with that one first. Fail to remember. You know how you play sports against your children? And they can't beat you, but you're playing sports against them. Let's use basketball for an example. You're in the backyard playing basketball with your son or your daughter or both, and they've never beaten you. But this particular day, you're going to fail to remember. Yes, you know you can beat them. You know the score, but you're going to let them beat you this time. It's not that you forgot how to play. You forgot how to win, but you failed on purpose. You inadvertently did it. You made sure that you had the best interest for them in mind. And so you just failed to win. See, that's what God is trying to get us to do. He's trying to get us to forget some things. And we're not dumb. We know it happened, but I fail to remember. And that's what I want to dive into. In the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21, 22, let's deal with this particular subject with Peter. Oh, yeah, brother Peter. We all know Peter, the disciple. Peter is having a conversation with Jesus. And Peter asked Jesus a question. He says, Jesus, how many times should I forgive someone who sins against me? He says, how many times should I forgive someone who hurts me? How many times should I forgive someone who's spreading rumors on me, spreading gossip on me, lying on me, telling untruth, telling fables about me? How many times should I forgive someone who muddies my name? That's what Peter's asking Jesus. Before Jesus can answer the question, Peter's so anxious, Peter answers the question himself. Peter says, I'll do it 7 times. Peter comes in and says, I'll do it 7 times. I don't want you going and telling me, God, because you're so merciful that you're going to probably give them way more than 7 times. So Peter said, I want to jump in, and that's what we do. We want to jump in and answer for God. We ask God a question. We're praying for God for a solution, but we jump in the midst before God can answer, before God can rescue us, before God can deliver us. We jump in and say, you know what? I'll fix it. I'll fix it myself. Peter jumps in and Peter says, I'll do it 7 times. Jesus says this. Jesus says, I say not unto thee 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Now you must realize that Peter was shocked. 70 times 7. But Peter knows Jesus. That's why he jumps in and says 7 times. He knows Jesus is graceful and merciful. So Peter's not shocked. He's just simply, who wants to do that many times? Yeah. This is that same Peter, self-serving Peter, Peter who was bragging about he wouldn't deny Jesus, but we know he did on 3 occasions. And don't get upset with Peter, because Peter's just like you and I. Yeah, Peter fights more with his mouth than he does with his brain. You see, Peter likes to boast about things. He likes to get out in front of things and think he has all the answers. But he's asking Jesus a question, and he doesn't want to hear the answer. Isn't that something? See, that's you and I. We ask Jesus a question, but we really don't want to hear Jesus' answer. We think, well, we want to hear his answer, but we don't want to hear his answer. We want to hear his answer to where it fits our issue. Yeah, we want to try to mold Jesus into our way of thinking. Well, I think not. Jesus is Jesus. And so Jesus tells him 70 times 7. So Jesus is telling Peter, I want you to have a lifestyle. A complete sold out lifestyle to the word forgive. This word forgive is such a small word, but it carries such a powerful impact. It's got a big old punch. Forgive, forgive, forgiving, forgiveness. It's amazing to me how many of us hold on to things as if we have to be hard and we can't let our hair down. We just can't relax a little bit around each other. Male and female, everyone carries this hardness about themselves. If you have forgive in your heart, you don't want to be hard. No. You see, what you're holding on to is things you can't forget. And that's why you keep it hard, because what happened to me. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to this because the next time I'm going to take care. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. That's pulling you deeper and deeper into quicksand. That's making you sluggish. Yeah, that's making you unbearable to be around. Because you want to spread pain. No one wants to be around pain. My father is one of the greatest examples of love and of forgiveness, if you will. Forgiving, forgive. My father, I watched my father time after time after time again go and get his brother out of trouble. His brother drank a lot, and so he'd always get in trouble. And not once did I see my father ever complain. He loved on his brother. He loved on his children. I remember one time my uncle, his family had to come live with us because they lost their house. I watched my father love on his brother, never once getting upset at him while he was in the household. Going out with him, house hunting, finding a place for him and his family to move into. But while they were in our house, we had to respect them. We had to make sure we didn't bring up anything about how they lost their home. We just had to love on them like our Father had taught us. And that's what forgiveness is. Yeah, it's not about trying to blame someone. It's about really liberating someone. It's liberating yourself. I mean, when you can forgive yourself for things you've done, it makes it so much easier to forgive others for things they've done. Love hides a multitude of sin. That's what charity does. Charity is about giving. Yeah, forgiving. Who are you giving for? See, sometimes people can't give for themselves, and sometimes you have to give for them so that they can start giving to themselves. I pray that you get that. Yes, love, forgive, forget. We need to wrap that up. We can sell that. Yeah, that's what 2021 needs to carry over into is to love, to forgive, and to forget. I'll never get past that. I'll never see past that, that the love my father showed to his brother, the forgiveness he showed to his brother. Because that love was passed down to each one of my siblings. We all carry that because of our father and mother's teaching, because of the love they had for their children, because of the love they had for their family. I pray that you get it. That 2021, it's about really carrying over into a new normal of doing new things a fresh way. Yeah, and love is at the top of that podium. And forgiveness is like a twin running neck and neck with it. And forget is right there below it. Watch this, watch this. And forget sometimes has to come above it because the more you forget, the more you love, and the more you will forgive. Put it behind you. Stop carrying it. Yeah, stop carrying it. Stop carrying it. Stop toting it. Yeah, stop packing it and release it. When you can release you by forgiving you, the world is a better place. I pray that each one of us can grasp this message. Each one of us can be the difference maker. We can't change the world all at one big time, but we can change ourselves one at a time. I don't want you to go into your cesspool of issues. I don't want you to revert back to what you always thought about before 2020. Jesus is telling us, I need to do a new thing in you. I need to do a new thing, a fresh thing inside of all of you. And so Jesus is telling us, I need you to let forgive come to the top and stop being at the bottom. Yeah, we all love each other. We hug each other. We say, I love you. We're on the phone, I love you, and we hang up. But is it in your heart? It's a matter of the heart. When you truly love someone, you can forgive them. Don't get me wrong, pain is pain. And it hurts. When someone talks about you, when someone creates rumors about you, that stuff really hurts. But Jesus is telling us, I want you to deal with that issue because I don't want you to start keeping it to where you won't forget it. You know the statement we make? I'll forgive him, but I'm not going to ever forget him. No, 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 no. Jesus wants you to forget because if you don't forget, he'll never forgive. Some people say, no, I forgave him because I'm still going to hang on. No, no, no. That's not a heart thing. That's just simply a mouth thing. I told you, you're doing it with your mouth and not with your head. You see, what Jesus wants you to do is forgive because when you forgive someone, you release them. You free them up from that burden when you truly forgive them. But when you forget, guess what? You release yourself. Yes. You release yourself from that burden, from that grudge, from that pain, from that issue because what they did hurt you. Don't get me wrong, it hurt you bad. People hurt people. I mean, hurting people really hurt people. People who are in pain bring pain. And so that thing hurts you. So we're not going to dispel that. But I told you the word about forgiveness is defined as, watch this, fail to remember. Jesus is telling us, Donnie, I know you did it. but I failed to remember when I see you. Yeah, I pushed it so far down that I failed to remember because I love you that much. I told you about love, right? Yeah, love is just, oh my gosh, love so powerful. I love you so much that I forgave you. I love you so much that I forgot what you did to me, how you hurt me. Yes, how you crossed me up. Yeah, how you put mud all on me, how you spreaded rumors. Jesus said, because I want you to free yourself. Yeah, isn't it something? You're running around with this grudge, and the person who started this whole issue, that person's went on about their business. They're living their life. Yeah, I forgive them. Well, they'll take that and run with it, even if you don't forgive them. But forgiveness is for you. Forgetting is for you. Yeah, love is for all of us. I'd hate for you to be a bitter old person because of what happened to you versus what happened through you. Yes, you have so many opportunities to forgive and let it go. So you can forget it. Yeah, so you can fail to remember it. Are you failing to remember it? Are you holding on to it? Yes, because you want to get even. Oh yeah, you want to get even one day. Well, all that does is make your heart harden like Pharaoh's. Pharaoh's heart was hardened by God. It didn't just harden by itself. God says you refuse to let my people go. Therefore, I'm going to harden your heart to where, guess what? Even when you want to, you can't. I pray that you don't want to be in that situation to where your heart is so hardened. Even when you want to let it go, you can't let it go because you've kept it in for so long. You refuse to forget it. And so by not forgetting it, guess what? It's eating at you. I mean, it's eating away at you. You can let things get inside of you that are so small, so minuscule. They were so small when they started, and you made them just fester into just a big old dungeon. That's what we do. That's what we're doing. And so I pray, no, we don't want to go back to normal. We want to move forward and go to a new normal because we want to have love and forgiveness at the top of that list. And we want to forget everything that ever hurt us, that ever came up against us. We want to make sure that we put Christ first in our life. That's what we always say. Ask Brother Peter. Peter said, I'll forgive him 7 times. Jesus says, no. Jesus said, forgive him for a lifetime. I want you to have a lifestyle of forgiveness. After all, the Father forgave you. That's why he sent me. He sent me, watch this. He sent me out of divinity into humanity and wrapped me up into this dust suit called flesh so that I could come and be the substitute for your destitute. For all your issues, I came to be the atonement. I came to be the redemptive one just for you. If Jesus came and he can forgive us, surely we can forgive others by failing to remember. Have you ever failed to remember on purpose? Oh, you'll do it with someone you love. Some old guy, who come in the house and you're trying to date him. Oh, you'll forgive all his mistakes. But you won't forgive your son's mistake. You won't forgive your daughter's mistake. Oh, but that old big-head man you just brought in, you'll forgive him. See, we have what I call selective forgiveness. I'll forgive anyone who I'm trying to get something from. No. Forgiveness doesn't have that type of a requirement. Forgiveness is just very simple. You forgive because you love to forgive. I pray that you start loving to forgive. Yes, you start loving. You fall in love with forgiveness. That's where Jesus wants you. That's where he is. He's so in love with you that he forgives you for all the things you do. So you're asking me the question, Donnie, what does forgiving and forgetting have to do with 2021? Well, it has everything. Do you know how much stuff you have pent up inside of you? Do you know that your struggles are because of you, not because of others on the outside of you? More than likely, every struggle you have right now is because of you, because you won't let it go. Yeah, you won't let love conquer all. You won't let love and forgiveness come in and arrest you in the midst of your issues. Yeah, you want to hold on to them because you want to get even. Oh yeah, I want to get even and Steven, as we say. You want to make sure you rectify the problem. Well, that's what's holding you back. Every job that you've had, every opportunity you've had, you couldn't get it because guess what? You were being held back by you. Because your struggles, because of your challenges, because of your pain, you carry it with you. See, forgetfulness, it puts it under you. It puts it beneath you. You stand above it with the love and forgiving. You stand above every issue in your life. But when you don't forget, it stands above you. As a matter of fact, you wear it like clothing. And everyone can see it. Everyone see you coming with it because that's all you talk about. I'm trying to get you to go into 2021, releasing, all the things that hurt you, all the people that hurt you, all the issues in life that you have just beating you down because you won't forget. It's a time to forget. Don't be like Peter. Don't try to put a number on it yourself. No, God has already put a number. He put a number that you can't count. He says, forgive them. Let it become a lifestyle. Forgive them as many times as it takes. Yeah, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-husband, your ex-wife, forgive them so that you can move on. Your life is worth living. Yes, 2021, embrace it with a peace of mind. Yeah, forgive and forget. What would it be like if you lived in a realm of forgiveness? Have you ever thought about that? Try that. 2021, I want you to try living in a world of forgiving, a world of love and forgiving. I want you to forget that stuff. I want you to try it because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a new normal. Well, let's start with forgiving. Let's start with loving, caring. Let's start with forgetting. Yes. How many times, Donnie? Well, let's be for real. A lifestyle. That's what it needs to be. Because when you live a life full of forgiveness, you know what it does? Every time bitterness and hardness of a heart tries to come forward, forgiveness comes in and it tells you no. It tells you no. In spite of you, it tells you no. I tell you, let forgiveness and love arrest you this holiday season. Yes, this is the season of Jesus Christ's birth. It's the season of going into a new year. But what is a new year if you carry the old year into the new year? I'm telling you, you can't put new wine in old skins. Then so why put you into a new year with an old mindset? No, give your life to Jesus. That's the most important part. Forgive and love your brothers and sisters and everyone around you. That's what we should take into the new year. Yeah, a spirit of love and forgiveness. You'll be blessed. And don't forget Romans 10:9. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead. And guess what? You too shall be saved.